Okay, for more on this, Maximilian Hess, a Russian-Ukraine analyst and author, is joining us live from London. Thank you so much for joining us on WION. Very disturbing. Can you tell us why Russia has decided to launch this all-out attack against Ukraine? Is this part of that spring offensive that everyone was anticipating?
Well, firstly, thank you for having me. And no, I don't think that we can conflate these missile strikes with the feared spring offensive. Firstly, ever since October, Russia has been launching major missile barrages at civilian infrastructure in Ukraine, all across the country, from the areas near the battlefields in the south and the east where Russia has attacked, to all the way out in the far west of Ukraine, thousands of kilometers from the actual front towards the Polish border in Ukraine's Lviv region. These attacks have primarily targeted electricity infrastructure and sought to effectively terrorize the Ukrainian people and decrease the state's capacity to fight, as well as the people's will to bear it. We've seen major blackouts now again in Kiev and in numerous other regions across Ukraine as a result of this. But what is notable is that these missile barrages used to occur almost every Friday, whereas the one that occurred yesterday was the first that had happened in about 3 weeks. Why exactly this shift has occurred is unclear. It's most likely because the Russians are conserving and building up missile stocks, as they have dedicated their defense industry to complete production of these, to carry out such large barrages to overwhelm Ukrainians' air defenses. So while about 6 of the missiles used yesterday were these hypersonic missiles, the Russian armed forces used a total of 80 to attack Ukraine, around half of which were shot down of the non-hypersonic ones.
And can you share with us how these hypersonic missiles make Ukraine defenseless? And could they renew pleas for Ukraine to ask for better ground defense systems?
So the West has already really increased its supply of air defense systems to Ukraine. A number have already been delivered. Further are coming from Germany, Italy, France, including the United States, which is training the Ukrainians on its state-of-the-art Patriot missile defense system. But these Kinzhal supersonic missiles that the Russians have been using are simply too fast and fly too high in altitude initially for those missile defenses to work effectively. Now, the issue is that the Russians simply don't have enough of them to dedicate their entire missile barrage strategy to using them. They are certainly ramping up production, looking to build more, but as I said, only about 6 of the 80 missiles launched yesterday and the previous evening were of that variety. So while the Russians have them, and it's a major concern for the Ukrainians, air defenses are coming and will help the Ukrainians defend against the vast majority of these missile strikes as well. Yep.
Maximilian Hess, Russia-Ukraine analyst and author. Thank you so much for that detailed analysis, and we look forward to speaking to you again very soon.
Thank you again for having me.